How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the updated version of the Terra cast on crit. I have made some, adjustments or changes to basically push the mapping version of this build using Eternity and Imperial Might. Compared to the 500 billion DPS version that is using, the actual kingly chest and things like that, it's not going to be quite as tanky as this version, obviously, with Imperial Might and with Eternity. You do have to make a few changes in order to sustain this. First things first is with your helmet. You do need to get +1 max Terra charge stacks on your helmet. And then you are also looking to get... you need to get a T0 Terra charge recovery speed on your ring, and at least T1 on a second ring. I don't believe you need T2 on both. I'm pretty sure the breakpoint is exactly 167%. For the Terra charge speed, in order to always have 3 Terra charges whenever your cast on crit goes off, for that you can also just get extra just to be sure. So as you can see here, I have the T0 on both of my rings. We have the +1 Terra charge stack here, and then you are getting +1 Terra charge stack. You are getting +1 Terra charge stack here on your cast on crit as well with ground seal, or with ground divide rather, and then speed up formation is your other 65% Terra charge restoration speed. That's why you can use a T0 and a T1 in order to get that to go off. For candles, I'm still just using +1 max Terra. And then the CDR candle here. This +1 max Terra is probably better as just +2 cold. So you might want to test that. Other than that, I started using delayed pain instead of forced restart or forced start. Just because with the higher ES, I found it's with defense layers and delayed pain, I found it to be a little bit better. In regards to the damage here, this is going to go ahead and be like the bossing mode here. I believe if we go to this bossing setup here, we're still hitting 500 billion, or I guess maybe just shy of it. Yeah, no, we are still hitting it here. This is going to be in a bossing setup. If you want to run this, like when you're having this IVS, you don't really get procced as often. If you wanted to run like your full actual mapping setup where nothing changes, you don't have to change any of these anymore. You can just basically leave these the same. I did end up picking up the legendary memory. This added about 120 billion DPS to the build for mapping mode, so I highly recommend it. This is kind of the thing that should basically set you apart and actually get yourself up to like a very substantial amount of bossing damage. Highly recommend, definitely worth the money. The way that this golem works, though, it is really hard to get consistency with how much damage you are not doing with him. Sometimes you'll have to relog. It's a little buggy if you're changing around memories or relics or slates. So keep that in mind. But as you can see here, it's at least around 250. Where before with Eternity in the chest, we were getting around, I want to say like 80 billion, something like that. Which was fine. But this one obviously is much, much better. Like this. Everything else basically stays the same though. So definitely, again, highly recommend crafting your rings. If you are going to buy these rings, again, probably the best way to go about doing this is, again, still buy them with Affliction Effect or Reap. Or I guess you can just buy it with 2 of the mods. Terra Charge and Affliction. Or with Reaping. I guess if any mod doesn't need to be T0 or even T1, probably it's the Reaping cooldown recovery speed. You can probably get away with a T2 if a mod even exists for it. I don't know if it does. So, yeah, definitely go that way. Get these rings. Highly recommend. Other than that, same gear matters, or same gear lasts. If you are having issues where you are hitting the max DPS cap on your individual Terras, my recommendation is to craft % additional damage to life on your staff. That's going to kind of be your best approach. So realistically, I should probably recraft the new staff at some point, but I'm going to move on to doing a Gemma build from here. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one. So the biggest reason why the Terra charge stacks is most important is if you actually read over here on Frost Terra, every single Frost charge stack that you have is going to give you 40% additional damage. So by having up to 3 Terra charge stacks, we are going up to 100% DPS. Pretty much getting the Terra charge restoration speed up to high enough to actually sustain 4 charges is not sustainable. That's why we stop at 3 with the one from the helmet, the one from ground divide, and then just the base one that you start with. So that's why we're aiming for that 167 to like 200% CDR. The reason why it's 167 is because if you look here at the cooldown on cast on crit, the cooldown is 0.6 seconds. So that basically means every 0.2 seconds we need to be getting a Terra charge. And if you look at Frost Terra itself, you generate a Terra charge every 0.5 seconds. So we're basically, again, we need to get the cooldown of this from 0.5 seconds down to 0.166. And then, so again, that's 167% in order CDR in order to get the 5 seconds down to that. And then that, or get it down to, well, again, we needed to get down to 0.2, which is, you know, dividing it by whatever, you know, it's 2/5 of whatever the rate is. So the math checks out. It's 167% in order to get it under 0.2 seconds per tick. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and showcase the map.